Hi there, welcome to this tutorial. Today we'll build and deploy a beautiful site, perfect for showcasing an application, a SaaS product, game, or pretty much any digital product you can think of. I'll show you all the cool features and designs we have packed into this project. So let's explore what you will be creating today. First up, we have an eye-catching hero section featuring a striking robot image against a gradient background. There are also a super cool call to action button in here. As we scroll down, check out the Navbar. It becomes fixed at the top of the screen in a smooth and beautiful manner, and it also highlights the current section of the site with a green indicator, so you always know where you are. Next, we arrive at our modern features section. There are two main sections, each with a sleek call to action button, and 4 additional features. It's all designed to make understanding the benefits super easy. Moving on, we have the pricing section, complete with a monthly and annual subscription toggle. The background is stunning, and we laid out 3 beautiful plans for you to choose from. When you click Get Started button, you are seamlessly redirected to our payment system, where you can select the plan and pay with various methods. After that, we come to the FAQ section, where you addressed the most common questions. Check out these cool drawers, just click to expand and read more. Then we have an amazing review section with cool icons and gradient background, showcasing what our users love about us. Finally, we reach the download section, where you can find links to download our app on all platforms. The interface image here is just awesome. And we have also got a partners list down below. At the very end, we have a simple yet eye-catching footer. It features Navbar, newsletter subscription form, and social links to keep you connected. And guess what? This project is business-oriented and fully functional, making it a perfect showcase of your skills. The site is fully responsive, so it's look great on all devices. Plus, you can build it yourself today with our beginner-friendly guide, and it's a fantastic addition to your portfolio. With that said, let's start creating our Next.js application. Okay, first we need to do is to create a folder for the project somewhere on your computer, and I will choose for this desktop. So create a new folder called Veditor and drag and drop it to Visual Studio Code. Then we need to go to the tailwindcss.com. So write Tailwind, go to the first link, click Get Started, then Framework Guides, Next.js, and copy this first comment. I will split my screen and then go to the terminal in VS Code and paste this command. Now we need to replace the name of the project by dot and backslash in order to create the application in the current folder. So do this, click enter, then enter, 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 and one more time enter, and it can take a while, so I pause and return when it's done. So after successful installation of Next.js application, let's come back to the tailwindcss.com and copy this command, paste it in terminal and click enter, then copy this, paste it in terminal and click enter. And now we need to copy this content, go to the Tailwind config.js and paste it in here and save it. And also we need to check if this command successfully added to the global CSS. So if you don't have this in your global CSS, just copy and paste them. Also, we can delete all of that for now, save it, And we're ready to start our application. Copy this command, clear the terminal, paste it, and open it in the browser. After we successfully launched our application, we need to edit main style files and import assets. To do that, go to the GitHub. The link you can find down below in the description. Then go to the snippets and open Tailwind config.js. Copy everything we have here, go to your Tailwind config.js and paste it. Here you can see some custom styles like this background gradient and these styles like H1. It replaces all of these Tailwind styles. So in order us not to write every time this bunch of styles, we will use just H1. Then close Tailwind and go to the global CSS. Copy everything you have here and replace your global.css. Here you can also see some background gradients, so nothing special. And one more thing we need to add is pricing SVG. So copy it, then go to your app folder, create a new folder called components, and in it create a new file called pricing svg.tsx. And paste everything here and save. Then we need to download assets, so click here, download this file, unzip it, then go to the VS Code, delete this public folder, and delete this favicon icon. Next, go inside this unzipped public folder and drag and drop this inner folder inside your VS Code. Click Copy Folder. Now we have our public folder with images of brands, reviews, download PNG, and so on. Now we need to edit metadata and we can start styling and building our web page. With that said, let's go to the layout.tsx. Then in the title we can write Videator. And in the description we can write AI video editor. And let's also add some styles to our HTML tag. So write class name equal to scroll smooth. And also let's add a background to slate 950. And save it. Then go to the page.tsx and delete everything we have here. Delete and replace it by empty component. And now we have an empty page to build our application. And by the way, if you don't have this box over here when you hover at any Tailwind style, it means that you don't have the extension called Tailwind CSS installed. So install it and you would have instant translation from Tailwind CSS to the basic CSS. And if you don't know Tailwind CSS very well, don't worry. They have a great documentation and you can find any style in their search bar, for example, background slate. And you can find what does it mean in CSS, how to use it, where to use it, and so on. So just read and remember. And with that said, we need to do one more preparation step in order to fully dive into the coding, and it's to create a basic file and folder structure. To do that, go to the components folder and create a new folder called sections. And in sections, we will be storing a big components like hero section or feature section or Navbar and so on. And in components by itself, we will be storing some smaller components. So now in section, we need to list all our big components. The first sectional component will be navbar.tsx. And here, using command rafse, create a basic functional component, rename it from capital letter, copy the name and insert it in here. If this didn't work for you, so you need to install extension called ES7, this one, and it should work. The next component will be hero.tsx, and here rafc. Okay, and let's write hero there. Next component will be features.tsx. Rename and write the name here for now. The next component in the list would be pricing.tsx. Right, rename, and one more time, copy and paste. Then we have faq.tsx. So one more time, rename, and let's write FAQ here. Next component will be reviews.tsx. Rename and then just copy, paste, save. Also, one more component will be download. And one more time, create a basic functional component, rename, copy the name, paste it in here, and save. And the last one would be footer.tsx. And paste the name in the div. Great, we created all section components we need. Now let's import them into the page.tsx in order to see them inside. So create a div, and inside div, let's import first Navbar, then hero section, then feature section. Then we have pricing section. Then we have FAQ section. After this, we have review section. The next would be download section. And the last would be footer. So now we can style this div a little bit. Class name would be equal to width full, then margin x auto, and maximum width would be 1024 pixels. Save it and let's look at site. We have all our sections imported. Now let's start with a hero section, because Navbar is not essential in our landing page and it actually requires other sections to be done in order to work properly. So let's go to the hero section, click Ctrl and click hero, then delete hero, and let's create one more div inside and create one more. Then inside first div we need to create a p tag, and inside it let's write effortless video creation, and we need to give it class name equal to text slogan. It's a custom class name which we imported into Tailwind config.js. Then let's add h1 tag. And inside, let's write incredibly simple and fast. Also, we need to assign class name to it with a value of h1. Then we need to create one more p tag, and to save us a little bit of time, in GitHub I placed this text, so just copy and paste it here, and class name equal to p and margin bottom equal to 4. Now we need to add this beautifully styled button. To do that, let's go to the fibpulse.com. You can find the link in the resources of the GitHub. Then go to the Components tab, Button, and scroll to the bottom, click Code, and copy all of this code. And while we are here, I wanted to ask you for a favor. I have been working on this website with the various components and some resources, and I would really like to make it more valuable for you. So maybe you have in mind some tool, generator, topic, challenge, or anything else I can add to make this platform better for you. I would really appreciate if you could share some ideas. So please pause this video for a moment and write a few words in the comments in response to this question. If you could add one more feature to this platform, what would it be? So take a second to think about it. And 3, 2, 1. Thanks for your idea. And now, with that said, let's continue. Then go to the Components folder, create a new file called button.tsx, and paste everything you have copied. Delete this and also delete this, uncomment this export, and let's rename this component to just button. So Ctrl D or Command D if you on Mac. Then cut this part and paste it in Hero section. Then we need to import this button. And as you can see, we have an error because we forgot to install the React icons. You can see this command in fibpulse.com, so copy it, then shut down the terminal, paste this command, click enter, then one more time click npm run dev, and let's save this file. Also we need to import this icon, so import it and save. So now we should see this button over here, but we need to change the text. So let's say try it now, and link we should place to download section. So like this. And now let's add a robot image here. So to do that, in the second div, let's import React image from next image and add crc equal to hero.png. Then alt tag would be equal to robot image, and width equal to 350, and height will be equal to 500. Then save it, and we have our robot in place. But we need to add some more styles. So in this div, add a class name equal to W80, and in large screens we need width be 96, so W96, and also add the index 10. Then in this first div, let's add a class name equal to flex column, then gap equal to 2, that index equal to 10. Also in medium screen we want maximum width to be 80, and in large screens we want the maximum width be 96, like this. And let's style the main div now. So set width to full. Also flex column, but in medium size. Screens and more, we need flex row, then items center, and justify between. Also set padding to 16 and padding top should be 20, but in the medium size screens and more, we need padding top set to 40 and set a gap to 20. So let's save it. And we have everything basically like in example, but we need to add this gradient background. So to do that, let's create one more div. It should be self-closing. Add a class name equal to gradient 02. And make the parent div relative. So this gradient div should have absolute position. Then it should be left a half and width a half and insert 0. And let's save it. And we successfully created our hero section. So great so far. And now let's create a features section. To do that, let's go to the features.tsx, delete this, and create a new div inside our main div. And inside this div, let's create 2 more divs. Now let's go to GitHub, open a data in snippets, and let's copy all these arrays of data for the features section and paste it in here. Now let's import all these icons, so like this. Now we need to map through all objects in these 2 arrays and pass their values into 2 new components called feature card, which would represent these 2 feature cards, and feature, which would represent these 4 little features over here. So to do that, let's go to the components folder and create a new file called featurecard.tsx and use command array-fc to create a basic component structure, rename it. And now let's create an interface for this component. So interface called card props, and it would have icon of type icon type, then slogan of type string, then heading of type string, also text of type string, then button icon of type icon type, and finally button text of type string. Now we need to import all of these values into feature card component. So it would take icon as feature icon, then slogan, then heading, text, then button icon as button icon, and button text. And it would have type of card props. Right, we have. Now let's create 2 more divs inside this component. So one and second one. And inside second, let's create p tag which would take a slogan. Okay, slogan. And it would have class name of text slogan. Next, let's create h2 tag with the value of heading, and it would have class name equal to h2. Then we have main text over here, so p tag variable text, and let's add a class name equal to p and add a margin bottom 8. And finally we have button component. So we need to import this component, set text equal to button text, then icon equal to button icon, and let's set link to just empty for now, because we don't actually have this video which we can see in action. Now we need to go to this first div, and here we need to add this line over here and this icon. So to do that, let's create a self-closing div, and inside let's add a class name equal to hidden. In medium screen size it would be block, then add width equal to 2 pixels and height equal to 16, margin left equal to 24, and background equal to blue 950. So let's save it. Then we need to create one more div, and this div would have one more self-closing div with class name of width 12, height equal to 2 pixels, then margin top equal to 8, and in medium screen size it would be hidden. And also we need to set background also to blue 950. Then we need to create a new component called icon, and it would have a parameter called icon, which would take our feature icon, and we need to rename it from capital. So let's write feature icon, and also it would have a size. In our case it would be large. Now let's go and read this new component. So go to the component folder, create a new file called icon.tsx, and go here, create an icon component, rename it. Then we need to add an interface. So create an interface called icon props, and inside let's write icon of type icon type. Also we need to add size. It would be optional because by default it would be small, and it has two values, or small or large. Also we need to add a link as an optional variable, because sometimes we need our icon to be linkable to some video or some download page, so on. So type of string. And I wanted to add an image source, also optional, and string, because in our review section we would pass image source, not an icon. So also let's make an icon optional. So now let's import all these variables into icon component. So we pass icon like icon, also size by default small, then link and image source, and type of icon props. The next step is to create a variable called icon content, and it would be equal to brackets, and inside let's add a div, and inside div we want to render an icon if we pass an icon. So if we have an icon, then we need to render an icon. Let's add a class name to it, open a curly braces, then inside let's write that index equal to 10 and some dynamic styles. So if our size equal to large, then our width would be 8 and height will be 8, and if not, then width would be 5 and height would be 5. Okay, but if we pass an image source, so we need to render an image. So if we have an image source, then we need to render a Next.js image. So let's import it. Then let's add crc equal to image crc, also alt tag equal to logo, and width equal to 45, height equal to 45, and let's add a class name that equal to 10. Now let's format it a little bit so it looks better, and also let's format an image so we can do like this, and something like that. So it's look a little bit better. Now let's add class name to main div and open curly braces. It should be relative and also flex and item center and justify center. And now I wanted to show you how you can add your custom Tailwind CSS class. In our case, we will be using these 3 classes quite often together, so it's better to create custom class. So you can copy these 3, then go to Tailwind config.js, and here in plugins we can add one more. So to do that, let's write dot flex center or any name you want, then open curly braces, write apply and paste all styles here, then add a curly braces and save it. Then we can return here, and for example let's delete all of this and just add flex. As you can see, flex center over here, and if we hover over this class, it shows us that we successfully added our custom class. Then we need to add styles like border 2, also ring 1, background sky 950, rounded full, then overflow hidden, border slate 950, and ring sky 800. Also, let's add some dynamic styles. So $, curly braces, if size equal to large, then we would have width equal to 16 and height equal to 16, and in other way we would have width equal to 12 and height equal to 12. And then we need to add one more style. So $, curly braces. If we have link, so we need to make our icon cursor pointer. And if there is no link, so we do not have to add anything. Also, we have this hexagon in the background, so let's add it. To do that, let's import icon called gnested hexagons and add the styles. So class name would be equal to absolute, then that equal to 0, text equal to sky 900, and some dynamic styles. If size equal to large, then we would have width equal to 14 and height equal to 14. And in other way, our width would be 10 and height would be 10. Let's save it. And now we need to return this icon content. But if we have a link, it means that we need to wrap this icon content into Next.js link. To do that, let's write a ternary expression. So if you have a link, it means that we need to return a Next.js link. And inside this link, we need to pass this icon content. And let's write an href equal to link. And otherwise, we need to return an icon content. So like this. And now we're done with an icon, we can return to the feature card and import this icon in here. Now let's add the final styles and render what we have created. To do that, let's go to this second main div and add a class name. Inside, let's write flex, then flex column, gap equal to 2, padding 8, padding top equal to 6. In medium size screen, we want padding x equal to 16. And in medium size screen, we want padding y equal to 10. And also in this div, we want to add a class name equal to flex, then flex row. In medium size screen, we want add margin left equal to 16. Let's save it. And then go back to our features section, and inside this first div, let's open curly braces, write features card.map, open brackets, and inside open one more brackets. We need to pass the parameter as card and add an index. Then we need to render a feature card component with key equal to index, then icon equal to card dot icon, then slogan equal to card dot slogan, heading equal to card dot heading, also text equal to card dot text, then button icon equal to card dot button icon, and finally button text equal to card dot button text. So we can save it and see what we got. Let's refresh. So we have this, but we need to add some styling. So let's do it now. Add a class name equal to grid. In medium size screen, we want grid calls equal to 2. So to have 2 columns. Then padding top 8. And in medium size, we want padding top 0. Then let's save it. We already have something. Then go to this div, add a class name of flex, then flex column, then margin x equal to 4. In large screens, we want margin x equal to 16. Border equal to 2. Also, border should be blue 900. Then background set to blue 950. Also make it rounded 3XL. Shadow inner. And shadow blue 900. So let's save. Also let's style this main div a bit. So let a class name equal to padding 4 and padding top equal to 28. And let's add an ID because we need to add a navigation between these sections. To do that, we need to add an ID. So ID equal to features. Now we need to create a new component called feature to add these 4 little features over here. To do that, let's go to the component, create a new file called feature.tsx, and inside create a new component, rename it. And now let's create an interface for this component. So interface called feature props. We'll take icon of icon type and then name of feature a string. Then let's pass these variables into feature component. So icon as feature icon and name of type feature props. In this main div, let's render an icon component. So let's import it with icon equal to feature icon and size equal to small. We can omit this because by default size is small. And also add a p tag. Inside p tag, let's render name. And let's add some class name. So margin top equal to 4. Uppercase. Then text XS. Text center. And text slate 300. And also some class name to the main div. It should have width of 32, then padding 4, flex center, and flex call. So let's save and return to our feature section. And in the second div, let's map through all features. So open curly braces, write features dot map, open brackets, then one more, feature and index. Then we return feature component and let's pass some props in it, like key equal to index, then let's pass an icon equal to feature dot icon and name equal to feature dot name, like this. Let's save. So we have these features, and now we need to style this div a bit. So let a class name equal to grid, then grid calls 2, but in medium screen size we want grid calls 4, also padding x equal to 4, but in medium size screen we want padding x equal to 16, then padding y equal to 6, width full, background set to gradient to bottom, from slate 950 via blue 950 and to slate 950, and also make it rounded 3XL, add a ring equal to 2 and place items center. Let's save it, and we successfully created our feature section, but as you can see we mismatched the color of this line. So let's return to feature card and change this background blue to 900 and also here to 900. Let's save, and we have this line over here. Next, we have a pricing section. So let's go to the pricing.tsx. So first what we can do here is to create this heading. To do that, let's go here and create an h2 tag, and inside let's write flexible pricing, then add a break tag and 4 teams of all sizes, like this. Also let's add a class name which equal to h2, then text center, width 80, but in middle screen we want width to be 96, also margin x auto, relative, and that equal to 10, like this. Also we can add styles to our main div. It's padding x equal to 4, but on large screens we want padding x equal to 16, then padding top equal to 28, margin top equal to 8, and also relative. And we need also to add an ID here in order to be able navigating between sections. So let's add an ID equal to pricing. And also we can add this background over here. So let's create one more div above. And in it, let's import our pricing SVG component, which we imported in the beginning of the video. So let's add a class name to it, equal to absolute position, and inset equal to 0, and that index equal to 0. So let's save, and we have this. Now let's go and create this toggle over here. So to do that, let's create a div, and inside create 2 more divs. So first and second one, and let's style firstly main div. So add a class name equal to width 80, height 14, grid calls 2. Also we want padding 1, margin x auto, margin top equal to 12, and margin bottom equal to 24. Also border equal to 2, border blue 950, also rounded Excel, also relative, and that index equal to 10. So let's save. And inside let's write monthly and annual. Okay, so now we can style these two inner div and also add an on-click property in order to switch between monthly and annual subscription plans. And also for this we need to create a use state. So let's go to the top, create a constant called plan and set plan equal to use state from React, and by default it would have a property months. And also don't forget to write use client in the top, because otherwise use state won't work. So now let's come back to our divs, add on-click property equal to basic arrow function. So when we click on this div, we want set plan to months, and if we click on this div, we want to set a plan to annual. So let's save it. It currently do nothing, but when we add some styles, we see the result. So add a style of flex center, then uppercase, font semi-bold, text XS, also cursor pointer, and now we need to add some dynamic styles, $, open curly braces, and inside let's write if plan equal to months, then we want background to be blue 950, shadow small, also shadow blue 900, rounded large, and text white. And otherwise we want background to be transparent, so background transparent, and text slate 600. So let's save, and now we can just copy this class name and paste it in the second div, but we need to change this months to annual. Also, I noticed that I made a mistake here, so let's correct it, and it finally works. We can switch between two plans, and now let's create our plans. So to do that, go and create a new div, and inside let's create one more div. And now in this div we need to place a new component called a plan. To create this component, create a new file in components folder and call it plan.tsx. Then create a basic component, rename it, and as always, first what we're gonna do is create an interface. So create an interface called plan props, and inside let's write an icon of icon type, then price of type number, then name, string, also slogan, string, then option 1, ring, and we can just copy this option, paste 4 more times, and rename to option 2, option 3, and option 4. Then we have button icon of type icon type, then type of plan. It's optional as it can be limited or not, so limited, and then button link of type string. And now we need to import all these variables into plan. So icon as main icon, then price, name, slogan, option 1, then let's copy option 2, then option 3, and option 4. Also button icon as button icon, and type, and also button link of type plan props. So like this. Now we can create our plan. So first let's style the main div. It should be relative, also flex column, item center, and gap 2. Then let's create a div inside, and inside this div let's call icon component, import. As icon we should pass the main icon, and size should be large if the type of plan is limited, and a small if not. As you can see here, the plan is limited and this icon bigger than this two. So if type equal to limited, then we add size large and else small. Then we need to close this icon component and create a p tag, and inside let's write a name of our plan, and we need to style it quite a lot. So create class name, and inside let's write width fit, text center, text XS, font semi-bold, also uppercase, rounded full, border equal to 1.5 pixels, and padding X equal to 3 and padding Y equal to 1. And now we need to add some dynamic styles. So $, curly brackets, and inside let's write if type equal to limited, then we want text to be line 400 and border be line 400, and also margin top 8, and otherwise we want text to be cyan 500, border also cyan 500, and margin top only 4. So we can save it. Next we need to create div. inside let's render our price, and also add a span in here, and inside span let's write like months, so we can see over here. Add a class name to span equal to text pxs, its custom style which we imported in the beginning, and here also add a class name equal to text 5xl and font semi-bold. Then we need to create a p tag. Inside let's render slogan and close curly brace. Also add a class name equal just to p. Then we need to create this horizontal line over here. So create an HR tag, it's self-closing, and add a class name equal to width equal to full, then margin y4, and border slate 700, like this. Then we need to create a div, and inside this div we need to render these 4 options over here. So let's create one div inside, and let's style the main div. So it has a class name equal to flex, then flex column, gap 6, and margin bottom equal to 8. Okay, now let's render the first option. So write option 1, and also we need this check over here. So let's import an icon called md check, and let's close it and add a class name equal to w6 h6 padding 1, border equal to 1 pixel, then border slate 900 and rounded medium. So let's save it and style this main div. So class name equal to flex, then flex row, items, center, gap 3, and text should be p small, like this. So now we can save it, and basically we need to copy and paste this code 3 times, but better way to do this is to create a new component. So let's copy this, go up here and create a new component called option. Equal to brackets, then arrow, curly braces, and inside let's return our option. So let's rename it to just option, a little bit format, and as a parameter it should take option, but we need to add an interface because it's Next.js. So interface called option prop, take as a parameter option of type string, and here we can write option props. So now we can just, instead of this, write option and give us an option our variables option 1, closes, then copy 3 more times, and let's change it to option 2, option 3, and option 4, like this. Also, we need to add this button. So let's import button component and add an icon equal to button icon, then text which should say get started, and link to our payment system equal to button link. Okay, so we need to close this. And one more thing which we need to add, it's this line over here, if the type of plan is limited. So we need to open a curly braces and write if type equal to limited, then and only then we need to render this p tag, which should say limited time offer. So like this, and let's add a class name equal to margin top 6, then text XS and text lime 400. So we can save it now. And let's come back to our pricing. And here in this div, let's import our plan component. So import it, it's self-closing, and we need to add some parameters. So first would be an icon, and it's equal to for person. So icon equal to for person. Import this icon, then price equal to if plan our use state equal to months, then let's set a price to 18. But if it's equal to annual, so we need to set the price, for example, to 19 per 11. So that's how we would change these numbers over here. Then let's add a name equal to personal. Also, we need to add a slogan which equal to ideal for solo creators. Then option 1 equal to 4K export. Let's copy this and paste 3 times, then rename this option 2, this option 3, and option 4. Then let's edit this a bit. So 1 GB of storage. Also basic tools and community support. Then we need to add a button icon which equal to icon called varreg circle. And the last one is button link, which would be equal to 2 different links, depends on the monthly or annually subscription we want. So if plan equal to months, then we would have 1 link. For now we place the placeholder, and if annual, so the another link. We can save this. Then let's write some styles to this parent div. So add a class name equal to padding x 12, padding wife 6. In medium screen we want padding x equal to 6, and in large screens we want padding x equal to 12, then border equal to 2, also border blue 950, then rounded 3XL. Then in medium size screen we want border right equal to 0, and in the medium size screen and more we want rounded in the right side equal to none, and also set that index to 10. So let's save it, go to our editor, and as you can see we have already something. Now we need to copy this and paste 3 times. So let's save it. Also, I prepared some snippets for this pricing section, so you can go copy for plan 2, go to our plan 2 and replace in here. Also we need to import this icon, and we need to change this for person icon to for people group icon, and also let's change the price to 39 and 39 times 11. And also for the third plan, so copy, paste in here. Let's add a little bit formatting. Also change the price to 99, and this icon we need to change it to IO business. So let's write IO business, and let's import this icon as well. Now we need in this third plan change rounded right to rounded left and border left, like this. Let's save it. Nothing actually changed. So let's go to the main div and add main styles. So width would be fit, also flex column, but in medium screen we want flex row. Then items center, gap y equal to 28, and margin x equal to auto. Let's save it. So we already have something interesting over here, but we need to prepare this middle plan. So we need to add a type to it. So type equal to limited, save, and here are some changes. And also we need to edit this a bit, add a border equal to blue 800, and also background equal to blue 950. Also we need to delete all of this, then add for large screens padding x equal to 14 and padding y equal to 4, and also delete all of this. So let's save, and we have all our pricing section done. So we can switch between monthly and annual subscription. This is beautiful features over here. And also a little bit later we add links so we can pay for any of these plans. So now we created the most important and most difficult sections of our site. And with that said, let's continue with FAQ section. To do that, let's go to faq.tsx and then go to GitHub, snippets, data, and copy this FAQs array. Paste it in the top, and let's save it. Then we can manage this FAQ component. So create an h2 tag, and inside let's write you have got questions, and we have got answers. Also create a class name, which equal as always to h2. Also add max width of 96, and in medium screen size we want to add padding left equal to 8. Then let's create a p tag, and inside let's write find your answers below. Also add a class name equal to p, margin top 4, and in medium screen size we want padding left 8. And then we have a div. In this div we need to map through all FAQs in our FAQs array. So let's create curly braces, then write FAQs.map, and inside function take as a parameter FAQ and index, and returns a new component called FAQ card with some parameters. So let's create FAQ card now and then continue with our FAQ section. To do that, let's go to components, create a new file called FAQ card.tsx, and here create a basic component, rename it, and then we need to create an interface. So to do that, let's write interface called FAQ card props, and inside we need a number of type string, also question of type string, and answer of type string. Then let's import these values into FAQ card. So number, question, and answer of type FAQ card props. First we need to do is to create a use state in order to know whether the card open or not. So create a constant is open and set is open equal to use state, and by default it would be false. Also let's import this, and do not forget for use client. Then we can go inside, create a new div, and inside this div create one more div. And inside this div let's create a p tag which would render a number. Also let's add a class name equal to margin bottom 2 and text slogan. Then under this p tag let's create an h3 tag, and inside this we would render a question. Also let's add a class name equal to margin bottom 2. Then we need to create one more div under this div, and inside this div we will be rendering this plus or minus icon. So to do that, let's write is open. So if it's open, then we need to render an icon called phi minus. Let's import it and close. And if not, so we need to render an icon called phi plus. Also we need to add a class name inside of w6 and h6, then copy this class name and paste it in here. Save it, and then let's add some properties to this div. First would be onClick, and it's equal to an arrow function, so it's return set is open to not is open. Then we need to add a class name. It would have a lot of properties. First it's width 8, then h8, then flex center, then margin left equal to 4. In medium screens we want margin left equal to 8, also rounded full. Then background equal to radial blue gradient, also ring equal to 1, also ring should be blue 950, ring offset equal to 1, oh, misprint, ring offset equal to 1, also ring offset is slate 950, and cursor pointer. So that's it. Let's also style this div. So add a class name of width 64 and on large screens width 72. Also let's style this div. So write flex row, then justify between items center and margin bottom equal to 2. Also let's style this main div. It would have a dynamic styles. Firstly we need to write padding equal to 4, and on medium screen size we want padding equal to 6, and then if is open, then we need to make a background of blue 950, so background blue 950 and rounded XL, and otherwise we do not want anything. Okay, that's fine. One more thing left to do. It's we need to render this answer over here. So to do that, open a curly braces under this div, and let's write ifs open. Then and only then we need to render a p tag with an answer and add a class name equal to p small. So let's save. Then let's return to FAQ section. Let's import this component and add a properties. Question would be FAQ dot question, answer would be FAQ dot answer, and then we need to add a number. And to do that, we actually need to create a function which will format our number in this beautiful way, like add a 0 and a point here. So to do that, we need to add a function here. So write a const format number equal to, as a parameter, it would take number as number and return string. So let's make an arrow, then curly braces, and inside let's write if number less than 10, then we need to return 0 plus number and plus dot. And other way, we need to return a number plus dot. So let's save it and add this here. So write curly braces, format number, and inside we need to pass an index +1. Let's save, and also let's style this a bit. So we need to style this div first. Add a class name of grid. In medium size we want grid to have 2 columns, margin top equal to 16, gap y equal to 4, and gap x equal to 16. Also, we need to style this div, add padding x equal to 4. In large screens, we need padding x equal to 16 and padding top equal to 28. And we need to add an ID FAQ, like this. So let's save it. Go to our editor. So as you can see, we successfully created our FAQ section. And now we can go on and create a review section. So let's close all documents and go to the reviews. And inside, we need to import this array of reviews. So copy this, then paste it here. Then let's go inside this div, create a new div, and inside this div, create a p tag. And let's write here wall of love. I open an example so we can see what are we creating. And here the class name equal to text slogan and also margin bottom equal to 6. Then create here h2 tag. And inside let's write words from our fan. So also add a class name equal to h2 as always, and let's style this div a little bit. So add margin bottom 16, also width equal to 72, and that index equal to 10. Then we need to create a new div, and inside this div we will be mapping through all of our reviews. So we can write reviews.map and create function that take as a parameter review and index, and returns a new component called review card. So let's go and create this new component. Go to components folder and create a new file called review card.tsx. And in here, let's create this basic component, rename. Then we need to create an interface called review card props. And inside we have a name of type string. Then image source of type string. Also we have company of type string and review by itself of type string. Then let's import these variables. So name, image source, then company and review of type review card props. Then let's go to this div and create a p tag. And inside let's render a review. Also let's add a class name equal to p. Then let's create a new div. And inside this div we need to render an icon component. So import it and set an image source equal to image source and close this element. Then create a new div, and inside this div create a p tag, and inside let's render a name and add a class name equal to margin bottom equal 1, then text small, also text sign 500 and font semi-bold. Under this p tag create a new one. Inside let's render a company, add a class name equal to pxs. Then let's back to this main div add a class name equal to flex, also flex row, items center, and gap equal to 4. And in this parent div, let's write width equal to 56, flex column, and gap equal to 8. So let's save it, return to our review section, and import this review card. Then let's add all properties. First will be key prop equal to index. Then we have name equal to review.name. Then we have image source equal to review.image source. After this we have company equal to review company. And finally we have review by itself. So review equal to review.review. So now we can save and look what we got. So we got something, but we need to style it a little. So here add a class name equal to grid. In medium screen size we want grid calls 2. After this set a gap to 16, also set index to 10, and add a place item center. Also go to this main div and add a class name equal to padding 16, flex column, but in large screens we want flex row. Also in large screens we want justify between, and also make it relative. So let's save. And we did it, but we need to add this beautiful gradient over here. So let's do this by creating a new div, make it self-closing, and inside this div let's add a class name equal to absolute left 1/4 and width equal to 3/4, and also in set equal to 0, then gradient 0, 1, and that index equal to 0. So let's save, and we successfully created our review section. Now left only download, footer, and our navbar. So let's create a download section. So go to the download.tsx. Here let's go inside the main div, create a new div, and inside this div let's create 2 more divs. Okay. Then let's go to our example, and as you can see we have this logo over here and over here. So we need to create a separate component for this. So let's go to the components, create a new file called logo.tsx, and inside create a basic component. Then we need to create an interface with only one prop. So logo props, like this, and this property should be size. So it's optional, and size should be or small or large, because in navbar we have a small logo and here we have a large one. So then let's import this property over here, and by default let's make size small and type of logo props, like this. Then here we need firstly to import an icon. So icon called grobot golem, like this, import it and make it self-closing, and under this we need a span that says editor. like this. And here let's add a class name. So open a curly braces, then write flex row. After this, items center, then gap equal to 2, and font semi-bold. And now we need to create two constants. So first constant should be called icon size, and it would be equal to width 9 and height 9, but only if size is large. So if size is large, so then we have this width 9 and height 9, and else our width should be 6 and height should be 6. And then let's copy this constant and create a new one, which should say text size. And if size is large, then text should be text 3XL, and if small, then text should be just XL. And then let's add these variables over here. So $, curly braces, and here let's write text size. And in here where is icon, create a class name, and inside let's write an icon size. So now we created our logo component, and we can go back to this download section and here import our logo component. And by default size is small, so we need to add size property that says large. Let's save it. After this we need to create a p tag, and inside let's write all of this text. And also let's add a class name equal to just p. Then we need to create a div, and inside this div we need to render all these icons over here. So import our icon component, close it, and inside let's render an icon which has name for Apple, so like this. Also we need to add a link. Just set a placeholder, and if you have an app you can replace this link by, for example, link to Apple Store or so on. Then let's copy this icon 3 more times, and here we need to replace it by for Google Play, also for Windows, and for Globe, like this. Also we need to add a class name to this div, so add a class name that says flex, then flex row, and also justify between. Next, let's add styles to this main div. So add a class name which equal to W72, then flex column, also gap 8, margin bottom equal to 36, and in medium screen size we want margin bottom equal to 0. And now let's see what we got. So save this, let's go here, refresh, and we created this part, but we need to add an image. So to do that, let's go to this second div, add Next.js image. So import image, then let's close it. Now let's add a CRC which says download.png. Then we need to add an alt tag, and inside let's write interface. Then let's add a width equal to 800 and height equal to 420. Then let's save it. See what we got. So we got an image, and let's add styles to this div. So the position should be absolute. Also, it should be left 4 and top 72. In medium screen size, we want top auto. Also in medium screen size, we want left a half of screen, then also right width equal to 800 pixels, rounded 3XL, overflow hidden, border equal to 2, and also border black. Then add a ring 1 and ring have a color of sky 950. Then also add a ring offset equal to 24 pixels, and we need a ring offset, so it should be slate 950, like this. And now we need only to make this parent div a relative. And let's add some more styles. So add a flex, also flex column. Then in medium screen size we want flex row, items center, also margin bottom equal to 96. In medium screen size we want margin bottom equal to 0, and in medium screen size we want height equal to 550 pixels. So like this. Okay, now we have something. Let's add styles to main div as well. So first we need it to add a padding. Also add an ID equal to download, and let's save it. Then as you can see, we have this brand list over here, and it's very easy component. So in order to not waste a time, I suggest go to fibipulse.com, then go to components, brand list, and just copy this code over here. Let's do like this. It's very simple, so I don't think I need to explain it. So create a new file called brandlist.tsx and insert everything in here, and let's edit this path over here. So our brand image locates in brands, so brands, and then google.png. Let's copy this over here and paste it 3 more times like this. Then let's make Adobe, then open AI, and the last one should be YouTube. Now we can import this component in our download section. So brand from brand list. Let's save, see what we got. So as you can see, we have this logos over here, and I made a misprint. So let's see. Yes, Adobe. Let's save it. Fine. And now we need to add this final styles to our main div. So this main div should be flex, also flex column. In large screens, we want padding 16. Then margin top equal to 24. In medium screen size, we want margin top equal to 0. Also, we need to make overflow x hidden. So we have this in here. Also in 2XL screen, we want overflow x visible. Like this. And that's basically everything what we need. So let's refresh. And here we finished our download section. Now we can create a navbar, so we be able to navigate between sections like this. So let's go to our navbar.tsx and basically close everything over here. So choose a close all, then open a navbar. And here, first what we can do is to import this logo. So to do that, let's import our logo component. And then we need to create a new component in this file called Navbar link. And this new component will be representing these links over here. So to do that, let's copy just this component, paste it in here, and rename to Navbar link. There, let's delete all of this. And here, let's import a link from Next.js link. Let's close it for now. Then we need to create an interface for Navbar link. So create an interface called Navbar link props. Like this. And inside we need to have an href of type string, then current section of type string, and also we need a children of type React Node. So children React Node. So now we can import all these properties in Navbar link. Then current section and children of type Navbar link props. Let's add an href to link equal to href. And then inside link we need to render a children like this. Then let's come back to our navbar, and here we need to add useState. So create a const of current section and set current section equal to useState, and by default it should be empty string. So import useState and do not forget about useClient like this. Then let's add all our Navbar links in Navbar. So add a Navbar link in here, and inside let's write features. Also let's add properties to it. So href equal to hash and then features. It's basically an ID of the section, and then we need to add a current section equal to our useState current section. But let's rename it from a capital for better readability, like this. Then we can copy this and paste it 3 more times. So let's do it 1 time here and 2 times after logo. And let's rename. The second should be pricing. And here also let's write pricing from a capital. Then we need FAQ, so FAQ, and here we need also FAQ, and last one should be download, like this, and here also download. So let's save it, see what we got. So let's now add some styles. Add a class name equal to flex, then justify between. After this we need padding 8, also margin X auto. Also in medium screen size we want width equal to full, but maximum width we want equal to 1024 pixels. After this, in medium-sized screens and more, we want position fixed. Then we want that index equal to 20. Also transition all. Duration of transition 300. And rounded bottom equal to 3XL. So let's save it for now. And we have this navbar over here. And then we need to add these markers so we know in which section we currently are. So let's go and do it. First, let's go to our Navbar link and add these styles in order to underline and change the color of the text if it's a current section. So to do that, let's go to Navbar link, create a constant called isActive, which equal to current section equal to href dot substring, like this, and from the first element. We do this to know if the current section equal to our href, and we need to omit this hash over here, so we need a substring from first element to the end. Then in link, let's add a class name equal to open curly braces, and inside let's write hidden. Then in medium size we want visible, so block. Then font semi-bold. And after this we need to add some dynamic styles, so isActive. We need to make text lime 400, and if it's not, then we don't need anything here. Then let's add a div under this children, which would represent this underlining, like this. So add a div here and make it self-closing. Inside let's add a class name, which should be absolute. Then bottom equal to -3 pixels. After this we need width equal to full, height equal to 3 pixels, and also background equal to lime 400, and also rounded full, so like here. And we need to show this div only if this link is currently active, so let's open the curly braces here and write isActive, and only if it is, we need to render this div like this. Now we need to go back to our navbar and create a function which will say whether this link active or not. But firstly, let's create one more use state in order to know if we scrolled or not, so we can change the background of our navbar. Let's just copy this, paste it in here, and there let's change this to is scrolled. Let's also rename it from capital. Okay. And by default it should be false. So let's save it. And now we need to create a use effect. So add a use effect from React, and inside let's create our functionality. So here let's create a function called handle scroll, const equal to handle scroll, and this function should set is scrolled to true or false. So to do that, let's write an if statement. If window scroll by y more than 0, then it means that we start scrolling. We need to set is scrolled to true, like this, and in otherwise, we need to set is scrolled to false. Like this. Let's add an event listener over here. So window add event listener, and inside the trigger should be scroll. And we should call a function called handle scroll. Also, let's write a return statement that would delete this event listener when we don't need this. So let's write a return, and then window remove event listener of trigger scroll and call function called handle scroll. Now let's actually make our navbar change a background. So to do that, let's go in this class name and let's change this to curly braces over here. Also add this, and inside let's add a dynamic style that says if is scrolled, so is scrolled, then we need to make our background blue 950, and otherwise we need to make our background transparent, so background transparent like this. So now let's save it and see what we got. So we start scrolling and our navbar becomes blue. And now only we need to create these indicators over here, because we already can go to some sections. So to do that, we need to modify our handle scroll function. Go inside, and here let's create an array of all of our section. So create a constant called sections, and inside we need an array of features. Then we need pricing, also FAQ, and finally download, like this. Then we need to create let variable called current, and initially it should be empty string. Then we need to go through each section in sections array. So let's write sections dot for each, and then we will pass section, let's call it section name, and inside first what we need to do is to get the section by ID. So let's write const section equal to document dot get element by ID, and this ID should be section name. So write section name. Then after we get this section, we need to check if this current section exists. So if section exists, then we need to get the coordinates and sizes in our screen. To do that, we have a function called getBoundingClientRect. So let's create a const called rect, and it should be equal to section dot get bounding client rectangle, and this will actually return the top position of our section, the bottom position, the sizes, and so on. So now we need to define whether our current scroll position between the top of the section and bottom. So to do that, let's add an if statement, and inside let's write rect.top less than window dot inner height divided by 2, and in the same time we need rect dot bottom was below our window inner height divided by 2. So copy this, paste in here, and if this condition is true, then we need to set current to our section name, and after this we need to set our current section to our current like this. Now we can save it and let's try. So go to pricing and we have this underlining over here and changing of color. So as you can see, we create our navbar. Only thing left is footer. So let's do it. Then we add a payment system and our site will be ready for deployment. So with that said, let's go to the footer.tsx and here inside let's create two more divs. And in first div, let's create two more divs. In first div, we need to render this footer navbar. So let's go and do this. We need to import Next.js link. Then we need to write features. Then let's add also an href that says hashtag and features. And also we need to add a class name, which is equal to text slate 400 and also text Excel and font semi-bold like this. Then we can copy this link and paste it 4 more times and change here features to pricing. Then here let's change features to FAQ. And last one should be download. So like this. Now let's add some styles to the main div. So add a class name equal to flex column. After this, gap equal to 4. Items center. And in medium size screens, we want item start. Like this. Then we need to add this part. So let's go to the second div and inside let's render p tag. And here we need to add a copyright sign. So ampersand copy like this. I write Phoebe-Pulse Inc. You can write, for example, Editor or any name you want. Then let's add a div. And inside this div, we need to add 2 more links. So the first link should say privacy policy. And let's add a vertical line over here. Also add an href equal to placeholder, and you can replace it by anything you want. Maybe you store your privacy policy in a separate page or in a separate service, so you can place something here to guide your clients to the privacy policy, and then add a terms of service like this. So let's save it. Then let's add some styles to this div. It's text slate 400. And also let's add a few styles to this div. So width should be 64. In large screens we want width equal to 80. Also flex column reverse. But in large screens we want flex row. Also gap equal to 4. Justify between. After this, p XS. Also margin top equal to 12. In medium screen size we want margin top equal to 16. Margin X equal to auto. And item center. Like this. So let's save it. So now we need to add this subscribe form and this logos over here. So to do that, let's go to this second div, and inside let's add one more div. And inside this div we need to render all our social icons. To do that, it's better to create a separate component. So let's create it in the top of our footer.tsx. So create a const equal to social, then brackets, and we need to return the link like this, and inside link we need to render an icon. So let's add an interface to social. So interface social props, and inside we need an icon of type icon type, and also we need href of type string like this. Then we can add these properties over here. So href and icon like icon of type social props. Then in link we can add an href equal to our href, and then we can add some styles. So add a class name of width 8 height 8, then flex center. After this, rounded full. Then we need background radial blue like this. Then also add a ring equal to 1. Set the color of ring to blue 950. So ring blue 950. Then we have ring offset equal to 1. Also ring offset slate 950 like this, and cursor pointer. So let's save it, and then we can in this div add our social icons. To do that, let's write social, and inside we need to give some props like icon equal to for Discord import this icon, and href equal to your Discord link. For now set it empty, or you can paste your Discord link in here. Then let's paste it 3 more times. Replace this by Instagram. Then we can replace by YouTube, and finally Facebook. Like this. Then we can add some styles to this parent div. So add a class name equal to flex, then flex row, then justify between. After this we need padding top equal to 8 and padding x equal to 8. Then we need to go to the main div, and inside let's add some styles. So add a class name equal to flex, then flex column reverse. After this, in medium screen size we want flex row. Also in medium screen size we want margin top equal to 16 and margin x equal to auto. Also let's add a styles to this div. So add a class name equal to width full. After this, in medium screen size we want width a half of screen. Then padding x equal to 4, padding top equal to 16, padding bottom equal to 8. In medium screen size we want padding equal to 16, and in medium screen size we want padding bottom equal to 8. Like this. So let's save, see what we got. So now it looks better, but we need to add this subscribe form over here. So let's just go to Phoebe and copy one, and I explain how to use it. So go here and copy this code over here. It's pretty simple, I believe. Create a new file called subscribe.tsx, and inside let's paste everything we have. So if you look at it, we have basically title, then some text, then a form. And in form, we need to replace this path to your IP by your actual IP, and method set to post. Then we have an input and a submit button. So it's pretty much easy. Then let's save this component, go to the footer, and there in the second main div, let's import it. So subscribe, like this. Then let's save, see what we got. We have this subscribe form over here, and now we need to add some gradient and this separator. So let's do this. So go to this div firstly, add a class name equal to flex, then flex column. After this we have justify between. Also we have padding x equal to 4, padding y equal to 16. In large screens we want padding equal to 16. Then in medium screens we want padding bottom equal to 8. Then we need to add a background gradient to bottom like this. After this we need to set from slate 950, and after this to blue 950, like this. Let's save it. So now we have this gradient over here, and also we need to add this separator. So let's create a div between these two, and inside let's add a class name equal to hidden. In medium size screen we want block. After this width set to 1, rounded top equal to full. Also background gradient to bottom. Basically we can just copy this background gradient to bottom from slate to blue. So paste it in here and change this to blue to slate 600, like this. Save it, and we have the separator. So now our site is finally complete. And what a stunning creation we have here. Now you can use this platform for just about any digital product you can imagine, and it's a great addition to your portfolio, showcasing your work in the best light. But to make it truly perfect and fully functional, there is one more step. It's integrating a seamless payment system. For this, let's go to the stripe.com. Here you can sign in or create an account. I sign in because I already have an account, and you will be seamlessly redirected to a new business dashboard page. So here we can start with changing our business name. Here let's write to editor. Then we can go to a branding tab. Go to setting, business and branding. And here we can set an icon and logo of our shop. So I can do this. Choose some image on your desktop and set it here. Then we need to change these colors because our base colors in our site is a little bit different. To do that, let's go back to tailwind.css.com and here go to text decoration color. and there you can find the hash code of our main color. It's slate 950. So copy this, then paste it in here. And also the button, I want blue 900, so let's go and find it. Okay, then copy this and paste it in here. So let's save changes now. Then you could go to a product catalog, and then here let's create a new product. Let's call it editor monthly
subscription,
like this, and here let's set a price to 19. Then billing period is monthly, and let's add a product. Then let's go inside this product, and here let's add a price. So set it to 39 as our second plan. Then let's copy this text and paste it in this description. Then create a price. Also create one more price which says 99, and in description let's write best for businesses. Like this. So create a price and let's edit this first one. So inside should be ideal for solo creators. Let's edit this price and paste it in here. Then let's save this. And now we can create a payment link. So go here, and here we can check this include free trial, set it to 14 days. And click create a link. So inside we can also manage your payment methods. For example, I wanted to add a Google Pay like this. Then we can go back and copy this link over here. Then let's go to our code. And inside let's go to pricing.tsx. And here in personal plan, we can set this link to a monthly subscription like this. Then we can save this and try it out. Go to your editor, then click get started here, and you will be redirected to this test payment, so you can try it. Test card will be like this, 424242. Then 1234 and any numbers for CV. Then we can write a full name, add some data, and start our free trial. No thanks. And here we added our payment method for this month's personal plan. Then you can add for startup. So for this, go to a product, choose this second price, create a payment link, then create a link. Also copy this, go to our code, and inside in the second plan, paste it in here. And for annual plans, you need to create a new product that says, for example, annual plan for editor, and inside here and here you can paste this annual payment link. So after this, let's also try it out. And as you can see, it works. So when you actually pay, you get this tab of customers, and here we have this first customer in a test mode. And when you actually create an app, you will be able to get this data and know whether the person subscribed to your service. So we successfully added our payment, and now we can deploy this site. So you can show it to someone or just add it to your portfolio. So to do that, go to Vercel. Here you can log in or sign up. So I log in because I already have an account. Write your email, then verify. After you successfully logged in, let's go to your GitHub account and inside let's click in New. So create a new repository, let's call it Editor, then create. After this, we need to go back to our code, and firstly let's shut down our terminal, and then we can write git init. So just copy this code over here, then git add. After this, git commit, then git branch main. After this, let's add remote origin and push. So as you successfully pushed to your GitHub, we can refresh and see our code here. Then let's go back to our Vercel, click import new project, continue with GitHub, then go to your GitHub account, then install Vercel, and then import this repository that you just created. So click import editor. After this, choose Next.js and click deploy. So you need to wait a little while Vercel preparing and building your application, and then if we have some errors, we resolve them, and if we don't, we would able to see our site online. And now I stop here and come back when it's ready. So as you can see, we have some errors in here, and to solve them, let's go to the app component sections and faq.tsx, and here in line 54 we have error in here. So let's change it from single quote to back quote. And also the same error is applied to a hero. So let's go back to the hero and find this error in 13 line. So here it is. Now let's save these two files, and then we need to write git add, then git commit -m bug fix, for example, and then make a git push like this. Then we need wait a bit, so go back, project, then inside editor we have deployments, and you can see this building deployment right now. So it will build, and we see if it still has some error in it. So we're still getting an error, and no worries, we can solve this right now. So solution to this one is quite an easy. We just need to move our components folder out of app folder in our main folder. So drag it, say no, and then in our page we need to replace these dots by this symbol. So save it, and now we can npm run dev to check whether everything is alright. So let's refresh it. Okay, everything fine. Now we can stop our terminal, write git add one more time, then git commit -m bug fix, and make a git push. So now let's wait a bit and see if everything is okay. So as you can see, our deployment successful, and we can go to a main page of project, and here we can see our live app. So we successfully built and deployed our app. Thank you for watching, and I really appreciate if you leave some comments below so I know if you like this video and to give me new ideas for new videos. Bye.